All right, Sam. Michigan, went up early 7-0. Then Western went right down the field and scored. And you're just thinking, like, oh, man, is this the same defense we saw last season? Mike McDonald's defense calmed down a little bit and sort of kept Western in check the rest of the game.
I thought it was as good as you could have hoped for the defensive performance. Look, Western Michigan is supposed to be one of the best offenses in the MAC. Now, do they have Dwayne Eskridge this year? I talked about it in the postgame. No. And so they don't have a Dwayne Eskridge on this team.
Right.
But they have some capable receivers and a veteran quarterback. You were hoping that the guys on the back end would not give up too many plays. Keep everything in front of them. Maybe they score some points, but you don't get gouged for big plays. And they did better than that. I thought after that first drive, they really settled down. And I thought the secondary did an excellent job of driving on the football, of punishing receivers when they caught the football. This is what you want. When you got a team that plays as much zone as Michigan played today, do you have sure tacklers that can drive on the football and make receivers pay and get off blocks? And Dax Hill had a fantastic game. They could not block him. They didn't have a wide receiver that could block him the entire game. And on plays where they had him accounted for, he blew up blocks and made plays time after time. It was a great performance by him. That was the most encouraging takeaway from this game, was how they played on the back end, because that's where they were going to be tested most. Then you look up front, and hey man, this was not a power run team.
Right.
But we saw Western have some running backs, and the defensive line, the interior especially, I thought did a really good job of keeping the linebackers clean, allowing them to make plays, and then disrupting things a little bit themselves. Mozzie's name, I saw that called his name a few times. Mike Morris made some plays. Chris Hinton. So it was a good all-around performance for the defense today.
Yeah, you're going to want to see that, them be able to stop the run, especially if you got a big team coming to the Big House next Saturday in Washington. And then you sticking with the defensive front, I liked what I saw out of Aiden Hutchinson today. He had the strip sack. You would have liked to see him come up with the football, but it's still a heck of a play by Aiden. He's sort of living up to that bill, and that guy, that senior, that captain. I mean, what did you see out of him? And he's sort of living up to the expectations in my mind.
Yeah, be that guy that they have to account for. Yeah. He didn't have the numbers to back up the kind of pressure he was getting early on. But he finally got home with the strip sack. Right, he blocked a field goal. You want to feel him every game, and you felt him even when he wasn't showing up on the stat sheet. But what was encouraging to me is they got pressure in different ways. Josh Ross, I thought, was a really effective blitzer today. You saw Ajabo a couple of times. Mozzie Smith, even a couple of times in there as an interior guy, got some pressure. So, again, they did it all over the defense, but you got to keep it in perspective. Western Michigan does not have the kind of running game that they're going to see next week. They're 6'5", 325 across the front. They have a 6'6", 360-pound offensive guard. That is a team that is really going to test how well you can hold up front. I'm talking about Washington. So the test shifts next week. This week, it was about, on the back end, are you going to be able to tighten up tighter than you were last year? Next week is going to be, are you going to be able to hold up better against a really effective ground game better than you were able to hold up last year? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, but we got a week to prepare. Look for all that in our coverage and more on the Michigan Insider.